it's time to add teams. Now, what you can see here is that this is the spreadsheet that I was given by Greg, and you would find that most of the time, when you're creating your pennants and your whatnots, you'll generally get a sheet, and then you have to import that sheet, translate that information into a pennant. So in here, we've got the necessary teams. So there's two ways to do this. So one way is that you could just simply add in your teams. So we could have Spock and Tipster, but and doesn't work. So you would have to go type out Spock and Tipster, as it is. Otherwise, and the next one is Love You Not. Next one is Love United, which you can add as well. If you have multiple team names, such as Croydon Pennant, you would have Croydon, and you might have 10 of those teams. Then you can simply go, just type in Croydon space, put in your 10, and add 10 teams straight away. All right. But in the Dandenong competition, as we saw, there all the team names are custom. So one way is to simply type it all out, or if you know, oops, sorry, what I want to do now is I want to show you a trick. So I'm going to clear all these teams, right? And what I've done on the second page is that if you know a little bit of Excel, right, I've effectively put all the team names here and ordered them in alphabetical order. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to click Add Teams right here, and it just copies and pastes it straight from your clipboard right into RCPS. Okay, so they're all here. Now all we have to do is just add the teams to the grades. So going back to our sheet here, we can see that these are the grades, right, that we need to put the teams in. So let me just try and get this in a way where you'll be able to see it. Oh, oops, see, that's not what I wanted. Okay. So we can see here, what you have to do is that you have to always make sure that you always have a grade selected. So make sure you select your grade. And then what I do is I have, then you just click on the, in order, and then add the team to the grade. So the first one is Spock and Tipster, which we note that it ignored the ampersand. So we're going to add that back in. So go Spock and Tipster, click Add Team to Grade. Love United is next. So when it turns blue, it means that team has not been selected, right? Which means it's selectable. Next one is Cleveland Pizza House. And the last one is VNE. And then that's a grade. If you want to move them around, you can just, all you have to do is just click up and down and whatnot. Okay. Another way simply is that, if you wanted to just copy all of that, right? And go, and let's say in D2, I click Add Teams to Grade. It adds them all simply like that, right? And we can see that they're all the teams that have been selected here. Okay. If I want to add a buy, all I have to do is just click on a buy and it adds the buy. Otherwise, I can just delete that buy because I don't need a buy in a group of 6. And again, if I accidentally added Sinclair and I didn't need to, I can just delete that grade, and you can see it's become selectable again. But I do want Sinclair, so I'll put it right back in. Or otherwise, I can just do a quick swap and like that. But it's not really going to work because it's already been selected. Okay. Right. So I did something there that I didn't want to do. Let's clear that teams up to grade, and then we're just going to add our teams back in. All right. So we have that. So we have all our teams. All right. So the next thing that we need to do is add our players in. Now, again, we can do the exact same thing and we can just add our players right into it. So if I click, now what Greg's done here is that he's got last name and first name in two separate columns. Ideally, they're in the same column. What I can do is go in Archibald, right? And then first of all, I have to click first name, surname to surname, first name. And once I do that, then I can add the player, right? But again, if you were a little bit more prepared, I should have been, then you can actually have a concat. So you can have equals concat, that one, and then with a comma, and that one, right? And then it does that. So then if I bring it all the way down here, we can see that it has created all of those names there, paste the value so that the formula doesn't recalibrate. And then we do that. And then the next one here is equal to concat again, right? That one, comma, that one. And we do the exact same thing here. All right. Miles Nichols. Realize I needed to add a little bit more down there. All right. So we get rid of those ones that we don't need. We copy and paste over so we don't have formula reevaluating. And we just line them all up just to make sure that we got all the right people. So we should have all but one. So Dale Coat, and then we forgot to put Hua Qing here. Okay. And ideally for best practice, we should have these all ordered in alphabetical. So we just highlight all of those, go to data and do that. And we can copy that. And then we go back to RCPS and we click add players. We can see it's added all of them. Now we've got two Ian Archibalds, which is not ideal. One of them is, well, I had it wrong, I believe. Oh no, so it's not Archibald, it's Archibald. So I'm just going to delete that player. Now, to make sure that these players are correct, you can click on this button called Check in Rating Essentials List. And if it has, a rating, what you can see here, a rating next to it, it means that RCPS has picked that player up by name in Rating Central. All right. Now we can see that there's a couple of players that it hasn't picked up. So what we can do is that we can click on surname only and check again and see if we can find those players. So Hua Qing, Duan Shu, and we can try and find that other one, Amelia Zhang. We can't find Amelia Zhang, right? So the best other option after that is to actually manually check it in Rating Central. So now, because in Greg's spreadsheet, he has either put in approximates, which that's what they look like, in there, but it's always best practice to check the list. So just want to check for a Hua Qing. And sometimes with these Chinese names, it might actually be Qinghua. And I can't find a Qinghua. I'll click for a Qing. No. Check for a Hua. And no, definitely not there. And just want to check the Chuan Shu. There's nothing there. And if I type in Zhang, no, there's nothing for Amelia, you as well. No. Okay, so what we need to but we need to rename Amelia Ewe because in the best approach is to have the Cuban name first and the Australian name second. Okay. All right. So, and it just tells you where it's changing names. Okay. So otherwise, Tony Gang should be picked up. So why is Tony Gang not picked up? He might be under a different name. So we need to check that. So we can see here that Tony Gang is Tony T Hart Gang. So we need to make sure that we give Tony the right name. So I've already copied that name and I'm going to paste that name right there. So rename it. Yep, no, so it's just telling you that it's where it's replaced it. And we can see if we check in the rating list, Tony Gang now exists. So it's only the 3 new players. This will become important when we upload for the first time. So okay, so that's teams and players. So I'll talk about how to add players into a team afterwards.